Hi, this is Ben Ripley with Sunny Skies CBD. We have talked a lot about our belief in radical transparency and the fact that we have an open door policy at the lab. And we do lab tours almost every day, but we're filming this in the midst of the coronavirus, so gave us the idea to do a virtual lab tour. We have a retail store at the front of our lab where we sell the Sunny Skies brand tinctures, topicals, pet products, and edibles. And if you follow me, we'll show you the lab. So you'll hear some of the hums in the machines. Right now you're hearing the freezers cooling the ethanol to a temperature of negative 80 degrees Celsius. We'll talk about the ethanol when we get into the extraction. The first thing to show you here, this is some biomass that we grew this year. This is 21% CBD. It's a Hawaiian haze strain. It's the crop that we grew on our 10 acres. We yielded about 20,000 pounds this year, and we use that hemp in our product. Now let's check out some of the equipment. Okay, so this is our processing room. We're here bright and early before the team can get in here and start running the noisy equipment. The first thing I'll show you is our Ethos 6, our ethanol extraction machine. This creates a winterized raw crude oil. And it's not running right now, but basically how it works, you load this chamber full of hemp, and you load these tanks, or fill these tanks with ethanol that's super cooled to negative 80 degrees Celsius. And this machine cycles the ethanol and passes it through the biomass, extracting the cannabinoids, the byproduct being the raw crude that ends up in this tank. The next step of the process is to reclaim ethanol, and we do that two ways. One is removing it from the spent biomass, or the biomass that has already undergone the ethanol extraction process. We remove it from the machine and put it in the centrifuge, which spins the material at a very high speed. It pulls out 99% of the ethanol. The next part of the ethanol reclamation is taking this raw crude and running it through the ARES, our alcohol recovery evaporator system, which evaporates off the alcohol, so the ethanol, and the water. And the byproduct of this process is a refined crude. This is crude that can be used in product formulation or can be processed further to distillate. The next step of the process is distillation. So this is a wiped film molecular still distillation system. And this process takes your refined crude to a full spectrum distillate. This process uses thermal separation to remove the unwanted constituents, such as salts, fatty acids, chlorophyll, waxes. And by doing so, you're taking your crude, which was typically in the neighborhood of like 50 to 65% CBD, and refining it to 80 to 91% CBD with your full spectrum distillate. I mentioned that you can use the refined crude in product formulation. Lots of companies do. It's often referred to as a truly full spectrum product. But the benefit of using a distillate in a tincture formulation or an edible formula, there's going to be less plant matter per milligram of CBD. The appearance of the product is also going to be better because we've purged out some of the constituents that give it a dark or a murky color, such as the chlorophyll or the fats and waxes. So because your distillate is a concentrate of your plant material, it is likely going to be above the legal threshold of 0.3% THC, but that is okay. The final product just needs to be under 0.3%. And that's why for a tincture you are diluting into a carrier oil, such as MCT. For a topical formula, you're diluting into the other components of the topical. An edible, same thing. Now, if you would like a broad spectrum distillate, we can also help you with that. This here is our reverse phase flash chromatography machine. We have a video in which we explain our THC remediation service. Check that out. So now that we have some distillate, the next step of the process would be to send this to a third-party ISO-accredited lab for lab testing. When we get those results back, we're ready to formulate product. So all the product is made here in our lab. As a licensed food manufacturer in the state of Wisconsin, our facility processes inventory tracking, sanitation, all of that is GMP compliant. So for every product formulation, we follow insanely strict SOPs that we've developed over years working in the CBD industry and refine and refine and refine. It's monkey see, monkey do, step-by-step instructions. These guarantee consistent products, and it's the only way to have consistent products. We hope you've enjoyed your lab tour. Please keep in mind, you don't have to bring us hemp and get back a finished product to work with us. You can, of course, simply work with us on one of the processes. So whether that's just processing, or you want wholesale extract, white label manufacturing, private label design. For more information on other services offered, please check out our B2B solutions video.